May I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
What is up, good people? You're watching Bradsy Entertainment. I am joined with a very special guest from across the seas. How are you today?
I'm doing lovely.
Fantastic. I'm just gonna. I've had a problem with the link. I'm just gonna change the link really quickly because
Okay.
the link that I put out was a bit. It's just I didn't with this software. It just generates different links.
I like it.
It's so weird. But yeah, it's on.
Very high tech.
Let me just put a different thumbnail out for it. 1 second.
I like that surviving fresh.
Surviving fresh and fit. It's like surviving P Diddy basically.
I know.
Oh shit! Yeah, bloody hell. So how was your experience anyway on the Fresh and Fit show? Like it seemed so crazy speaking to you. Like I said to you, I was a bit like nervous doing this interview.
It's it was toxic. I actually did not enjoy it at all. I really wish I spent my time wisely, but also, other girlfriends were doing it. So I was like, I'll do it. I'm really good friends with Rolo and Mike, more so Rolo. And I was like, yeah, I'm open to it because I did do their episode previously, and it was okay. I've been doing podcasts, so I'm very in tune with how they do things.
Okay.
But I knew it was going to get hot. I knew it was going to get crazy. I didn't think it was going to get crazy like that. The girls are still texting each other because we're mad. We're upset, and we also want to cleanse our energy of that's very toxic. We don't need that. And also, I do a podcast, so I'm going to have some of the ladies on my show.
Oh, fantastic. All right, we'll start this. We'll try to start this show really professional, even though that word does not go with me. Let's start by introducing yourself, who you are, where you're from, and what you're doing currently now.
I am Onyxmuse. I am from Las Vegas. I'm a porn star. I am a dancer. I feature dance, and I'm a financial dominatrix. And of course, I'm a content creator on, OnlyFans and similar platforms.
Fantastic. And what led you to this? I'm going to jump straight into it. What led you to this?
Yeah, I will tell you. So I was in a relationship with my first older man. We got into a very hot BDSM type of relationship. Okay. And it got too much. He wanted to do a polyamory relationship, and I was for it. And then after that happened, it got really bad. So I actually elected to leave them and leave the relationship. And I was like, why didn't you guys just be together? You guys got a thing. And my ex did not like that at all. He actually started to stalk me and harass me because I didn't want to live with them anymore. And then he started to blackmail and extort me. He wanted to put pictures and videos of me on the internet. Now, I was I'm a very strong-minded person. And also, I'm from the hood. I'm from Moreno Valley in Southern California. So that's not, much the privilege. So I already had a hard life, but I was really confused why this man thought that he could, manipulate me. And so I actually met porn girls from him, and I was so distraught. I actually, at the time, I had a dance troupe. I managed go-go dancers. Okay. I had 7 residencies at the hottest nightclubs in Los Angeles. And I was booking dancers. I was making costumes. I had a long-term contract with Live Nation. So I was super confused why this man would do that. Because he was trying to expose me as my name. And I didn't understand that revenge porn was a crime. Mm-hmm. And so my girlfriends were like, why don't you just do porn and you get a little notoriety and that can get them off your back? And I was really like, oh my God. I was like, I can't do that. Like, that's crazy. And then after a while, go-go dancing wasn't making a lot of money, but it also, it was respectable, but these people didn't give a fuck about you. And so I was like, you know what the fuck? I'm getting older. I was 24 at the time. And so I was like, fuck it. And so I finally like wrote him because I had him blocked and everything. He was emailing me and I was like, you know what? Fuck your little pictures and videos. I'm going to do it. I'm going to beat you to it. That way your pictures and your videos won't mean shit. And that's what I did. And I did the porn industry very strategically.
Okay.
On my terms. I didn't, go all the way in. And
what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? You didn't go all the way in?
Like they wanted me to, obviously go in and do anal scenes. I never did anal scenes. They wanted to fly me out to Europe and get booked a lot. And when you do that, that's mostly anal work.
Yeah.
I actually was really popular in BBCs, and I actually had Mandingo request me, and I turned it down. And because of that, I got punished. Like my agent wasn't happy that I was declining gigs, which is like, this is my body. Like I can make that choice.
Yeah.
So because I wasn't, agreeing to be like one of the girlfriends to my agents, and I also wasn't living in the model house because I was already in LA. I already had my apartment, I had my car, I was already established in Southern California. And so then from there I started to dance because at least I can dance at the strip clubs, make money. And I wasn't, in porn, they really like, there's not a lot of gigs, right? And then there's also, you have to do things to be first priority for gigs. At that time, this was not OnlyFans, you had to have an agent.
Yeah.
And I just was not about that. I was like, I'm not going to conform to that. And so fine, fuck it. If you're not going to give me gigs, I don't give a shit. I'll go dance. And I made a great living out of that. I have a bunch of regulars. And also like, dancing, I'm not having sex with people. I'm literally going to the club. I'm dancing. I'm making money and I'm going home. And it was able, and then I also did webcamming during that time. And so I was still like a part of the adult industry, but I just wasn't doing a lot of dirty work in order to, get benefits of like awards and stupid shit.
Okay, that's cool. That's a lovely introduction into your little situation there.
Okay, the introduction.
Let's address the elephant in the room, so to speak. You're all over the internet. Unfortunately, you fell for the trap on Fresh and Fit. They pulled you into their web and got you a little emotional.
Well, what's actually funny is like I didn't really fall into the trick. I mean, sure, I did the interview, but what I'm noticing now is they are highly irresponsible as people who are putting on, they have a platform where they have a podcast. And there was a clip that I sent you that these people said that a single mother wants her daughter to do OnlyFans. And if you actually listen to the full episode, I never fucking said that. I would never condone that. And I've said in plenty interviews that, I do this, I sacrifice myself to do this work so my daughter doesn't have to. Sure, whatever. These little idiots will be like, oh yeah, your kid is going to get embarrassed and bullied. No, my kid is actually going to live a good life, and I will actually be a real ass parent and be able to teach them about these type of behaviors that people do, especially with men, that she's not going to do that. And I will make sure that I provide some type of generational wealth in the businesses that I form after her, that my daughter wouldn't need to do this.
Yeah, let me just address that really quick, because obviously I watched it, and obviously Marquette, the guy, he was going at you with loads of different questions and stuff, and he said to you that what did he say? He was like, so would you want your child to do OnlyFans? And you quite clearly said no. But the thing about it is, this is a self-explanatory answer. There's not many people that go into the sex industry because they've made like fully loaded with money, like they've made hell loads of money, and then they say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go in the sex industry." Everyone understands the sacrifice that people that get into the industry and that are going to take. They're taking that sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice. They're putting their body on the line. I've got nothing but respect for girls that put their body on the line and go out there and grind so their children, their family have better lives. That should have been it. That should have been it. Simple. He knows that. He knows the situation. You're doing it. Fresh knew. Myron knew. They knew because they sort of agreed. They're like, look, you're doing it, so your child don't have to do it. Everyone understood that. So to try and twist this around and try and make himself look smarter than he actually is, I find when people do that, like, he's obviously an intelligent guy, but when people sit there with his do you not think he sounds like Will Smith as well? Like he seems like he's putting on like a Will Smith accent sometimes.
He put on a show because
definitely,
actually, like I don't fully know too much about him. I've seen him a couple times on like the whatever podcast and whatever, and he likes to go in and say that he's like some Christian man who, and I also saw something like, so he tried to, he did a few things. Of course, he pulled the race card, which was totally stupid and irrelevant. He tried to, because these guys, they talk generally, and they also assume our life of that, because they kept saying things like, oh, we chose to do this because it was easy. And it was like, you don't know my fucking life. And he said, oh, because I look like a white woman, that I have everything, I have all the blessings, that I could have did anything else. And then he also said, I would trust a drug dealer more than a sex worker. And what's really funny about that is my father did drugs when I was 13. So he tried to say that he was a drug dealer at 13, which, excuse me, your frontal cortex is not even fully developed for you to even understand the negotiations of a drug deal, let alone you're 14. You're probably not very successful at this drug dealing. And also the main factor is where's your mommy? You got mommy issues because your mommy wasn't around if you had to do that. At least a sex worker can go into a strip club, could go into a thing consciously, get the money, go home, wake up, and also be able to be with their child. I'm with my child every day. So the fact that he wants to sit here and say, oh, I'm going to trust a drug dealer. Oh, you're going to trust a drug dealer who, one, is selling you giving you a product that is going to give you addiction that will have a long-term effect, which that's what my father did. My father actually eventually died from that.
Wow. Sorry to hear that.
But also, I dated many drug dealers, and the drug dealers are going to cut your shit with some other shit to keep their bottom line moving forward. And also, they're going to take a 0.5. They're going to take a little bit off because they want you to be your friend. They want you to trust them so that they can, essentially deal with, their importance is their benefit.
Yeah.
So to see, how can a sex worker, is she gonna hide a boob? Is she gonna, not show you some ass?
I think the mistake that some girls find, some girls get really defensive about it. I would literally just say this: I'm making the biggest sacrifice of my life to give my child the best life she's ever gonna get. And the thing about it is, you guys live in America. It's ruthless out there. If you got in the UK. If I don't pay my bills, I decide to be a bum, whatever, I can still get a flat. I can still get benefits. I can still get if I get sick, I can go to the hospital. I'm not going to get a bill. You guys,
we're in inflation right now. It is crazy. It's not even good in the strip clubs, but it's not even just that. You're hearing Wall Street, you're hearing stock markets, you're hearing Bitcoin, you're hearing all this shit. And really, at the end of the day, I don't mean to get political, but our president sucks. Our president's terrible. The Democrats are fucking shit up. And, also too, it's like, what a great time to be a sex worker in the sense that you can work from home, you could do streaming, you can make content, you don't need to physically be in the clubs with somebody. And also, it is our fucking right as humanity that people are different. Groups of people are different. And you know what? That is fucking okay. The policing of other people's lives needs to stop. And who are these guys? What are they doing? One, they've never been in a long term relationship. They can't even be monogamous because they need to have this open ended shit on their end. But yet, the woman that they're with can't have the same equality. So then you're essentially torturing this woman because eventually she will resent you. Look at what happened to Fresh's girlfriend, baby mama now. And then his fucking piece of shit ass is gonna tell this girl, oh yeah, you just gotta go to the clinic and take a pill. And he's talked previously on other podcasts that that's what they do.
I've heard the story about when he said about he had the same situation with another girl, got her pregnant, and said to her, "Oh, baby, let's get rid of it, and then we're gonna try later on," something like that, basically.
Oh, and then, he talks to them,
and
tries to give them some life advice, and then he like never talks to them again.
As soon as he got rid of them,
that is disgusting. You
are
disgusting. Not a man at that point. And also, the girl, I mean, the girl's an immigrant, and whatever. Myron wanted to put it out there. Oh, I'm going to expose her that she's a prostitute. Now you just look more stupid because why weren't you guys on that before you were fucking with the girl? You were clearly with the girl. You were busting it wide open. Your choice was to grab a condom and strap it up, but you got her pregnant. And and that's why Fresh wasn't even really talking, because obviously he's clowned about on the internet. And
he's keeping it shut, because literally, like, everyone is just like, bro, that girl wouldn't piss on you if you was on fire.
Right.
You thought your fame and your success would allow you to get these girls coming in and you think that they're going to do that just for the pleasure of your ugly ass sleeping with them and not getting nothing back in return. Just admit that you have to pay, or the girls are going to use you for whatever they can get. And that for me, that's a transaction. Ugly guy with fame gets pretty woman. The ugly guy with no money does not get the pretty women. So it's simple. So these guys try to make out like they're the prize or whatever. You are the prize, but you're also the catch. The girls, and especially, I can't believe that he was doing it bareback, like no condom.
Bareback, no condom.
Introduced
her to the family, saying all this stuff. I mean, and to be like on her defense, I mean, she should have made smarter decisions, but whatever. She was wooed. She was manipulated by this whole, ideology of their red pill fucking shit, and thinking that they have the method for all men. But what they don't have is the accountability and the responsibility that if you're going to do this, practice what you preach. Because if it's not making sense, then why are these men paying you for coaching when you can't even keep your shit together?
It's all bullshit. Like, it's all bullshit. If you've got the clout nowadays on social media, you can get any girl you want. But if you've got skills, you can also get whatever girl you want. But it's just, you just have to learn those skills. For me, growing up, I wasn't ever the rich baller guy, but I've never struggled to get women. Never in my life have struggled to get women. And even at my tender age at 40 now, I'm not famous like Fresh and Fit at all. I could have threesomes, foursomes all the time if I wanted to, if I wanted to go down that route sort of thing. And that's just being good with people, being able to talk to people, like being relatable. Obviously, I work with a lot of OnlyFans girls myself, and a lot of them see me as like their husband, almost like, because like they just lean. I'm always on the phone. Situations going on, and I'm just talking to them about their family, house, whatever, just being a friend to them, and I think women ultimately love that, someone that they can just sort of unload on, that doesn't require anything sort of back, but it's just like a super friendship kind of,
Women are not difficult, and we don't, their whole like mind games and shit that they have to do, it doesn't make sense. And really, if you need to do that, you have no game, because
No,
if you were just respectful, had a sense of humor,
simple.
had some type of respect, and also had the decency to, the maturity to just communicate. That's all women want these days, because we got ghosting, we got fucking people faking it till you make it, and what is it wrong for women to hold back on sex for men because this is what we're dealing with? I mean, what if the scenario was that Fresh got his side chick pregnant and the girl was the girlfriend? Now you have to deal with that, and it's like they try to say this, like, I did a polyamory relationship,
Yeah.
and the reason why I left was it is lonely. Like, even though you have this, and it's all hot and heavy, and you start to, like, we were living together, so it was very intense, and I'm actually fine with the girl now, but at the time the man was separating us. So then it was like, and then the man was getting frustrated because you have two women who also have menstrual cycles, and he doesn't have the capacity to do it. But at the time, during sex, it's great. Oh my God, I got two women who want to fuck me. And at the end of the day, like, when he needs to spend time with her, because that's what we need in relationships. You need to have connection, you need to have that time. So then when that other girl is just waiting around and you are the only man that she can be with, it's not good. And it makes you resent them. And then it also makes you do crazy things where you may want to be like, I want to fuck other people. There's nothing wrong with women wanting to fuck other men. That is human. That's humanity. Like, it's human nature.
I think it's such a hard thing. Like it is such a hard thing for guys to comprehend that, But I think we just have to stop being selfish in a way.
Yeah.
Men, women aren't angels. Men, we definitely ain't angels. In our minds, we want as many women as we can get. Like, in our minds, that's what we're thinking. At a certain age, we want as many women, especially men that like have had to get famous before they got women. Those kind of guys are angry. Like you see them on the
Yeah.
podcast all the time. Those kind of guys are real angry. They've never had no women until they got fame. So it's like, I've had to work my ass off, get in the gym, get my ass famous, get myself a big ass YouTube channel so I can now smash as many bitches as I want, sort of thing. And they're angry. It's like they're not even enjoying it. It's like they're just angry, it
Right.
seems.
The incels, this whole violence towards women living their life, like, get over it. Get like, go focus on something else, because there's like, women are not going to stop. And also, we have the choice to do what we want. And we also have a lot more knowledge and insight on the fuckery that men are doing. Women are fed up. They don't want to get cheated on, or they want to protect their energy. And that is okay. Like, that is, that's self development for women. Women, we're not like, we understand. And I think that's also where women are getting more open minded to sex work, because for years, like when I left my relationship, and I've been in, some relationships along the way, but for the most part, yeah, I've been about the whole life. I've been about being a liberated woman, that I'm able to do this and I can take care of my family, I can take care of myself. And as many girlfriends that they get out of relationships, they immediately hit me up and they're like, you know what? Fuck this. I was devoted and I'm ready. I'm ready to like be a stripper. I'm ready to go on OnlyFans, and I'm
Yeah,
all for it.
I think that this is the issue. This is the issue. A lot of women are battling with that dilemma at the minute. Like they're either in a relationship, like in a sort of they think is a solid relationship, then that ends, and it's just like, wait a minute, I'm busting my ass, and these girls are earning all this money. Obviously, it doesn't. There is a touch of what Market says. Obviously, the reality is obviously. I think I think a lot of girls on OnlyFans only, like, you know, a lot. I think it's like 50% of them only earn £150 or $180 a month, sort of thing. It is pretty bad for them. That's why I think when I advise, if a girl say to me that they're going to get into OnlyFans, like I said, I've got girls that have made set. I've got
But what
yeah,
they need to understand is because, okay, so the girl's not making that much, but remember, there's always a starting process, right?
of course.
As a porn performer before OnlyFans, this is such a time to be alive that you could be in control of what type of content you're making, who you want to fuck or not fuck on these platforms. Because when you do porn, when we did porn, we didn't get to pick who our performer was. We got to see who it was like the week of, and then you have to do research and see where this guy's been, and then also they're not typecasting you with like, you know, an appropriate like size, so it's weird, and then you got to fuck this stranger that you don't really know. And
What is that like? I can't even imagine what your first scene is like. What is that
oh
like?
god,
What are you thinking? What are you thinking? What is it like? And how is
my
that?
first scene, it was like ATK girlfriends, and it was really weird too because my agency was like, so when you are booked for a scene, right, like a boy girl scene, you're just paid for that rate. But if there's other things involved, like cream pie or, you know, another girl, those are rates that you have to get charged for. So my agent was like, my agency, they were like, yeah, so this guy's kind of notorious to sliding like some freebies in there, so make sure you're on it. And I was like, okay. And honestly, it's kind of weird. It's, you know, you're going in, you know, you're nervous because you're just like, oh fuck, like this is gonna happen. And then when they tell you this and you're just like, well fuck, like, okay, so now I also have to be my own bodyguard as far as like, is this person gonna throw something in there? And then, you know, it's the person, like, you have a little bit of time to like talk to them and build up, but it's kind of weird. It's like, so I used to like go in there and be like, hi, I'm Onyxmuse and I'm gonna fuck you today, and like kind of make a humor about it, but it's just like, it's not sexy. And it is a work, and then you have to like stop and change angles, and it just starts to be like a long day. And I even remember like the guy that I did, like he had to take a smoke break after, like in between, and it was kind of gross. And like I don't know.
Was it at least good looking? Was it at least good looking, the guy?
No, not entirely. Not my type. I mean, he was respectful. He was very like kind to me. And then eventually, like, you know, they started to have me booked with some, you know, younger type guys. That it was okay, but it just still wasn't. It's not real. It's not authentic. And then when I actually was about to, like, one of my last scenes that I did with the major production, I got to request my boyfriend at the time, and he was a performer, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, yes, I'm going to perform with my man. And then they made a stepbrother and stepsister, and the whole like dialogue was so disgusting. And it was like, this was my partner, like in real life. And I was just like not turned on by the whole thing. And yeah, it's like, in the context of what it is now, sure, that girl's making 150, whatever. If she gets some advice from other performers, if she gets with the management company, if she, you know, it's all about tuning your skill, learning more education on how to hustle better. Just like in the strip club, there's no training period. Okay, so girls have to go in there and they teach you nothing, and you have to learn along the way. You know, my homegirl who brought me to the strip club, she gave me the stripper's handbook, and I didn't realize that other strippers didn't have it. So I had like, she kind of didn't even want to give it to me, right? Like I was like, she told me about it, and then she was trying to like withhold it from me. And I was like, bitch, give it to me. I need to know what I'm doing.
Mm.
And I still have it in my phone. It's like a little ebook, but I read it like front, back, every fucking day. And I went into that club, trial, error, fucking up, learning what to do. And it's like, that is what OnlyFans is, or other platforms.
Yeah.
It's the virtual strip club.
We're getting requests over here for you to do an outfit check. Is that
you want to see my outfit? Yeah, sure.
Oh, goddamn, girl.
Yeah, let me show you my outfit. This is from Trashy Lingerie in LA. So, yeah, wow. And you gotta, and it's fun. What kind of woman doesn't like to dress up and get sexy? And that's actually why. So my e-commerce business, I'm starting a lingerie line. Because I love lingerie, and I know women love lingerie. And if you really think about it, I think lingerie is a recession-proof business.
I think you might get some bids for that lingerie that you're wearing today, actually.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's going to have to be very expensive because I love this.
Okay. Guys, the links will be in the description, so make sure you go over and check it out. But what everyone's going to ask me to ask you, being on Fresh and Fit, like, what are they like? Like, is it real? Do they practice what they preach, or is it gas?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
If you think about this, and they'll probably like get on me about it, but
no, I don't want you
just as performers as we are. Before the camera's on, like Marquette was actually like joking with us and being all cool and laughing with us, and Myron and Fresh got there a little later, but even before, I mean, they kind of get right into it, and they're very respectful, but they let you know. Byron goes over like the guidelines, and once those cameras go on, it's like, boom, I'm this misogynistic fucking like Batman, and and they have to put this act on, and Marquette really like went into assassin mode and fucking started being a sniper on all the women, and they're all full of shit. I get Bitter Betty vibes. And, I got one of them to be in my DMs. I got one of them to offer to fly me out, which is totally against their fucking MO.
Okay.
So
don't name them. Don't name them. Don't name who.
I'm not naming them.
I don't name because I don't want you to. I don't want you to sort of like damage yourself out there. Fresh and Fit is obviously a massive platform for you to sort of, Like, I mean, what my thing on Fresh and Fit is obviously one, Myron. The only thing I'll say about Myron is he's too harsh on the black girls, man. I'm just gonna say it straight. He's way too harsh on the black girls. Like, he would like, like you said, the blonde girl that was sat next to Market. She's your friend. She was going in. She was interrupting the whole time. I've seen Myron say, "Get the fuck off my show," straight away. Get the fuck off my show. Like, I've seen him do that.
He was, that girl, and she's a very sweet girl. She was very soft toned. She was not getting argumentative with them, and they just kept poking her. And you know what? Like, I'm from the hood. I grew up with a lot of amazing Black women. There is nothing wrong with them, but they always, these type of men who are also ethnic themselves, they want to attack the strong Black women, and not all Black women are like that, but it's like, women will get in their defensive mode when you're doing that. And like, if you don't like women of a certain color or whatever, don't bring them on your page if that's what you don't like, but to sit here and, basically torture them and harass them and, and then I did not like that Myron, when he couldn't get he couldn't do a healthy debate on these girls, and the Maritza, the Latina girl that was sitting next to Fresh, he had to call her stupid, and he had to call a lot of the girls stupid. Why? The girl's stupid because she doesn't agree with you, and then you have nothing to justify that. Whatever. She wants to be in a throuple and she's happy, let her be. But to sit here and assume, her man doesn't respect her and doesn't do this and blah, 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 and you're dumb for that. And it's like, okay, well, is your girlfriend stupid? Is your girlfriend stupid because she is technically going to kind of be open to a throuple because you want to be open-ended and fuck around with girls on the side and actually fuck around with, sex worker girls.
Oh no! Oh no!
But your girl has to stay home and be devoted to you and clean your house and do your dishes and fucking whatever the fuck.
You see, I don't think that lasts forever. That fiction that Myron preaches, that you get yourself into this status where you're untouchable, you can get any woman you want. I don't think that works. You get a woman, and you see it all the time. You get a woman, and if she's happy to be a doormat and do everything you say, stay in while you're going out and doing it, that will only last so long. That will only last so long. And the thing about it, what happens is like the boundaries, they almost get turned into slaves. Their boundaries get pushed. If you look at, for instance, that P. Diddy situation where that woman sued him straight away, he settled straight away. Cassie, she settled straight away. He settled the next day. The reason why is because he broke her down to the point where it was like, okay, you're my bitch, basically. I'm famous. You're gonna do exactly what I tell you. You think in the back of her mind, she weren't thinking, as soon as I get out of this situation, like you think she was happy in that situation, doing whatever he wanted. They become slaves. When you do this, when you become that doormat, you become a slave to the guy, and the boundaries get pushed. You get slapped in the face once, then that becomes a normal thing. Then you start getting beat. That becomes another thing. Then it just gets worse, beatings and pimping out, whatever it is, and this is what happens. It doesn't work long time. You have to treat women with respect. You can have if you're not treating women with respect, they're going to resent it, or ultimately, they could go crazy. They could kill themselves, or maybe even kill you. Poison that porridge, boy. You don't even know.
Women, and they talk about, scorned woman is gonna, reap havoc, and why not? And I was in that type of similar relationship. The P. Diddy one really speaks to me because my relationship like that, I was in this very crazy, it seemed hot, and we were doing these wild fantasies for him. And I gave him a girlfriend because I was like, oh, you're rich, fine, as long as you're taking care of me, I'm good. But it started to mess up with my mental space, because even too, I started thinking about I want children. I can't have a child with this person because he wants to keep his options open for other women, and then I can't raise a child in that type of environment. But then also too, the little things, I can't, sometimes it's not even about sex that women want. Women just want a man to be with them, spend time with them, consoling them, be able to vent and be, just a partnership together.
Some guys just ain't built for it. They can't handle it. It's serious. And I'm not going to say it's easy, because being in a relationship for a long time, yes, at the first, what's funny for me is the guys that are in the early relationships where it's like the first 2 years, they get into sex all the time. They're seeing each other when and whenever they want. As soon as they move in, you give it a year or two, or a baby comes. Lord of mercy, you're looking at that woman like she's the evil. You're both looking at each other like resent. But to make the relationship last, you have to sacrifice. You have to be willing to sacrifice. And certain guys that don't get girls when they're young, or don't get girls until they start making money and become famous and get podcasts, they're so full of hate and resentment. They just want to smash. Do they even, in their mind, the back of their head, do they actually really want to do the things that they're doing?
They don't even want to make her come. It's almost like that woman is just a toy for them. Exactly. Then they get it out, use them, and I was so
bareback as well. Bareback.
Right. Yeah. Bareback. And then it's funny because they want to come inside them, and then they want to be like, "Oh, I thought you couldn't have kids. Did you get a doctor's note? Did you get are you?
Hey, you can just
surgery?
You can just take a pill. Take a pill.
Yeah, take a pill.
Take a pill. It'll be all right.
And also,
I don't want to kill a baby. Baby is baby. My religion
that's
is
killing
baby.
a baby, and it's so fucked up because so many women that, especially girlfriends that I have abortions, they have trauma, they have nightmares, and they also feel like they have a missing thing. They think about, what if I had that baby? And you know, it's just like cruel to tell a woman that, and it's her body. If she wants to have a kid, she may never have that opportunity to have a kid, because every time you're doing abortions, it fucks you up. And I
Definitely.
mean,
It's a end of the day, it's a life. And this is why I
it's a
don't.
life,
It's
yes.
a life. The moment you put that in there, the heart starts to beat. I think the heart starts beating very early as well. I can't remember. I don't want to say a time because but I know it's very early in the cycle of the pregnancy. And the dumbasses that out here that think their ugly ass is gonna bust in a top tier woman and think that woman ain't gonna be thinking about the back end. You know, these women. They were thinking about the way out on the way in. When you
Right.
were opening that door, thinking, yeah, I got this hot chick, I'm gonna bust in her. Like, you know, that
And you
woman
know
was already
what,
planning this.
too? Like, they think that she has no rights to child support. Like, I actually, like, the day of the
He's
interview,
finished.
I
He's chopped in
have,
half. He's chopped in half,
yeah,
100%.
I had a meeting with my attorney for my custody order. And yeah, baby daddies, they want to pretend like they don't got money and whatever. All you need to do is get a forensic attorney, get in those bank accounts. And also, Fresh has already said multiple times that he admitted that he did it, he played a part in it. The conversation on the phone, I mean, whatever, they're going to sit here and say it's AI. No, it's real. And, you know, at the end of the day, like, take accountability. And if you don't, then sign off the rights and whatever. But she has a right to go after child support.
Yeah,
You're not
definitely.
going to sit here and have babies, or, you know, bust your load into women and think that you don't have a responsibility. It takes two people to get pregnant.
Trust me, there ain't many women queuing up for no ugly babies, boy, unless you're paying
I
for it.
mean, she's a beautiful girl
She is
too,
beautiful.
but
She's beautiful, but on the other side, you know, it might not be as much. I don't even want to shit on them too much, you know. But you know,
you know,
but,
also too, I don't even want to get on the
no,
looks,
neither do I.
because
Neither do I.
maybe she did have a very good connection with him. Maybe they had moments where he was love bombing her so good that she doesn't know, you know, she's from another country and stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that are in place that, you know, we all don't know, but
Mm.
it's just very, like, disgusting
The
to
reality is,
talk to women like
yeah,
that.
the reality is, you know, he nutted in a chick, he got her pregnant, now he's got to deal with it. And the idiot needs to learn, he needs to learn that you can't be doing that because these women are targeting you. You're not targeting them, you know. The moment you click on them on that Instagram and slide in that DM, hey baby, come see me, I'll fly you out. You know, they were like, yeah, this is a meal ticket. They're seeing you as a meal ticket. You ain't the player, you're the meal ticket. You're paying for the flight, paying for everything.
And I think now it's totally because both of them had pregnancy scares. And I think that loses total credibility of what they are fucking preaching. You know, oh, we're going to make you better men. How are you making men better? What are you? Are you like, what are you doing? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and bash them of
No.
they don't do good things. I think, you know, they have a very successful podcast, and I mean, any podcaster has to respect like their consistency and their stuff. But then also too, I've watched a lot of the things, and their whole platform is based on violence towards women. I am getting death threats. I am getting hate messages on my social media because of their stupid narrative. And then I even messaged Myron and I said, take my tag off your thing. And he wanted to sit here and say that, oh, well, everybody wants to be famous before this stuff happened. I didn't want to be famous. I don't give a shit about famous, but it's very irresponsible that you have a platform. Like, he tried to tell me, you know, because they tagged my personal page. I didn't write my personal page on there.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm writing my stage name, but they did that on purpose. That was a little sneak diss. And then Myron had to say, oh, well, it's the staff. The staff did it. Well, guess what? The staff is hired by you. It's your platform. So to sit here and put blame on it, that just shows you ain't a man. Because when I'm a woman, if I you know, do a failure. I've keyed a bitch's car on accident because I thought she stole my stripper bag. And I even went up to her and I said, bitch, my bad. Let me make it up to you. And we figured it out because I'm a woman. I will fucking do that. I'm a real ass bitch. They're pussies. I get bitter vibes that they have trauma from when women have diss them, and this is why they get so emotional and they need to tell women they're stupid and this, and it's like, this is coming from not a dominant man. I'm a dominatrix. I get paid to humiliate men, so I can really see the weakness in them. If you need to live your day and get off on telling a woman that she's stupid, a beautiful woman, that she's stupid and whatever, there's something wrong with you. Or you have a hidden agenda that you're a homosexual and you really do hate women.
Wow. I would just say this about Myron. I don't like the one thing. I'll say this first. I love the concept of their show. Like everyone does. It's amazing. But you guys are the show. You sexy, beautiful women that come on the show. You guys are the show. We love hearing Myron occasionally when it's a little bit of banter. I can understand. I like a bit of banter. Banter's
Yeah.
good. Banter in the UK is just basically humor. Basically, I don't know if you know that, but
No worries.
okay, yeah, it's just humor. Basically,
I love UK. I love UK people. I love the culture, and I also love like the open mindedness.
Mhm.
I get a lot of subscribers and people on cam shows, and UK people are so fun because Europeans are very much more. They're very open minded to differences between people, right? Or even sexual orientations
Yeah.
and natures and fetishes and all that. Like there's
We're
nothing
all, we're, all- we're all
wrong
about
with
we're all about the fetishes, boy. And
all about the fetishes.
one thing we do love is a lovely American accent, boy. Just like
Oh, really? Wow. I
can you
mean,
can you, can you go into domino mode and just like for 30 seconds and just like I don't know.
oh,
Give me
is it?
give me an
You
example.
fucking pathetic loser. You're a scum on the bottom of my shoe. I wouldn't even spit on you if you were on fire.
Thank you, mistress. Thank you, mistress. Oh shit! Horses for courses, and this is what I want to say as well. Like the shaming part of sex workers. Now, guys, let's just be honest. Guys, we need beautiful women in our lives. We need it, whether it's digitally via porn or whether it's if you're paying for services, whatever. Like let's just be fair about it. Stop shaming sex workers. Every guy masturbates. Every guy watches porn at some point in his life. Every guy.
Masturbation is healthy. And if you think about this, okay, the priests and shit and the problems, the reason that these people are so sick that they're fucking harming children is because they have to be under this code, this honor that no abstinence, no sex. Well, guess what? This human nature that is natural in this man or woman, and they're doing weird shit because they just can't get it out of their system, and that's wrong. And I think for us, like, we're mental health providers. We're here to help people get it out of their system, hopefully so they don't harm women, they don't rape women, they don't fucking do wrong things. Actually, like, I mean, we've learned along the years, like, for men, if you're gonna go on a date, if you're gonna do something, get your shit out of your system so you're not so nervous, so you could be confident and talk to women. But the problem that they do this, and you want to sit here and shame us, we're grown adults. If I want to get my body right and also put it online and charge you for it, the problem is that we are benefiting off of objectifying our bodies, and they're mad because they want to make the money off of us objectifying, or they want to get it. They want to objectify us for free.
Yeah, I mean, you've got an element of men. You've got a section of men that are just like they ultimately, like you said, it's a bit of resentment. They may be stuck in a relationship with let's just say an average looking woman. Let's just say that to be nice, and they see beautiful women making all this money. The perception is that you just like Marquette said, all you need is a body, and then you can go do it. Like you said, it's like crack. That's the worst example. Like crack is a product. Crack is a product. Crack is a product that's backed. It's like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola's got a reputation. Like you can't say crack because crack is like it's its own product, its own brand. Women that women that just jump in with their bodies, they're the ones that get stuck with the 180 a month.
We are crack to men. Men love us. Men are obsessed with us. My phone blows up all day of men trying to get my attention in some type of way. And that's okay. But the whole thing is comparing women's bodies to crack and, having to go into that narrative. It's like, so what? You want to see dicks all day? Like, you want to talk, you want to be in spaces where you're just talking to men. Men love and are, they yearn for feminine energy. And this is what these men, they don't have. They don't have feminine energy around them. This is why they have mommy issues. This is why that they need to create these organizations, these communities to bash women. When, what are we doing wrong? We're here to give you something to smile about. We're here to give you something, that's why my last name is Muse, because I am men's focus to focus on their art, on their inspiration, on their motivation, because they need that. That's what men live for. Successful men want to go and travel and fuck a bunch of women, or they want to, a lot of women, that's why they get a Rolex. That's why they get the cars. That's why they get the shoes. That's why they get all the things, because they're peacocks. They need to have women to get on them.
1,000%. Everything you said, I was just talking about that today. Like everything, the fame. And when guys are famous, when guys want to be famous, like they think about the guys getting the girls. That's what they think about. The guys getting girls. Some people, and obviously there's the opposite. I don't know if it's the opposite, if like the guys like other guys or whatever, I don't know, for them it might be different. But but the guys that like females, that's all they're thinking about. When I get famous, I'm gonna get all the bitches. I'm gonna get a fast car. I'm gonna have a bitch in my car. I'm gonna have her doing this. But that's the kind of thing we think about. So to then sort of like cast a bad sort of light on women that are in the industry, like I just don't get it. Like I've got nothing but respect for women that do it. Like and it's obviously not an easy thing. It's not easy. Not every woman can just. Every woman can be successful doing it, but you have to sort of have guidance. And one of the things as well is, which people starting up with, like, don't think just because a woman is your OnlyFans manager that she's going to do right by you. Like
No.
a lot of women get for. I obviously I know I'm a guy in the industry and I've lost business here there because they say, oh no, don't go with him, go with me, I'm a woman, sort of thing, and blah blah blah. And then they're phoning me up and I look what they're doing online. It's like, you think that just being posting trashy picture after trashy picture is going to get you loads of customers, and it doesn't. It doesn't work like that. You see it. They see it all the time. 2 or 3 likes and you've just sort of like people want, like men want, more importantly than your body, they buy you, something that you've done. Like this, I've looked into the psychology of why men actually click on those links and choose you. It's something that you do and you don't even know you've done. You think it's the sexy outfit, which it may be. Some women are absolutely stunning head to toe and it's like, yeah, I need to see that woman naked. But sometimes it's something on a human level that they've sort of thought, why that woman? They can
My amazing girlfriend, Jezebel Vesser, she's another like porn star, and she was the one who really taught me about live streaming. And she taught me that it's not just about you. You need to build a connection with them. And this is what these men who go, oh, like, why would you buy this girl's OnlyFans when you can get porn? Well, the reason why they're not going to the porn is because after they've jerked off, that porn star does not know who the fuck they are. They're not going to message them and say, oh my God, thank you for watching my porn. It's just porn. It's just out there. But with an OnlyFans girl or, on any of these platforms, you can buy it from her and you could order a custom. You can also let her know like what that made you feel. You can also put a piece of your personality. Like, personality is really nothing that people can replicate. Like, it's your laugh. I actually, like, a lot of men love our smile. They want to make us smile. And when they do that, that makes them come, or that, the laughing, like, but not laughing at them, but just having a good time. Most women, we do this, and sometimes men, they'll send us like a random tip just to, make us feel good. And it's like, this is why people are more in tune with connecting with a OF performer or whatever it is, whatever platform, because they're going to get something, it's going to get reciprocated.
It's ultimate. What it is as well is ultimate boredom. When guys jerk off over porn, like you said, like people think, why would you pay that OnlyFans girl when you could just go to a porn site and find exactly what you want? It's that personal connection. It feels personal. Guys are bored and they want more than just beating that meat. They want that person to sort of. They want to even feel like that person even cares about them. Like, I'm a big advocate for sending a good morning messages to clients, like, in the mornings and stuff like that. I'm a big advocate for that. It just connects much more on a human level. My thing is customer retention rather than bringing customers in and losing them.
Like, men want to feel good, and sometimes too, it's like, I think they want attention that maybe their wives, girlfriends, or whatever, that they're not getting in real life. And like, I have some of my regulars on, my online stuff. They'll fucking hit me up when they're at work, when they're supposed to be working, and they just say I like make them feel so hot. I love it because I'm like, oh, this is like spicing it up. But it's like, the fact that they have access to us in their pocket at any time. We're here now. Well, of course, like if we're sleeping or whatever, but we're still going to get back and we're going to message them. And I think men would rather pay that than to go to a bar, go to a nightclub and buy bottles in hopes that girls would come to them. But really, when they come to them, the girls don't, they're not really coming to them because they want to be a companion for them. They just want to use them.
They're using them,
drinks and whatever.
And no matter how rich you are, like, if you go out and then you have to spend like, I don't know, 50,000, 100,000 on bottles and stuff like that. When you go home, surely at some point you must feel like an absolute prat to think that you had to pay out. You paid 100 grand just for a bunch of girls to drink your alcohol and just to feel important. Like, this is how stupid and how materialistic we've become in this day and age. And this is the kind of thing that we look up to. You see, like Andrew Tate used to always say that, he'd walk into a bar, he'd pop the bottles, and all the girls would come to his table. And like, it's really cringe when you think about it.
Women are not buying that shit no more. Like, sure, that used to work. And that's why women are not, that's why men are having problems on dating apps and vice versa. Women are having their own issues. But it's just like, what used to work years ago, it's not working now. There's a lot of resources and information of women understanding, the male psyche, and that the things that they used to do for them are not benefiting them anymore. The reason why women who are allowing their men to go sleep around and they just stay home, or maybe they got to take care of the baby and whatever, they're fed up and they're like, you know what? I'm still hot. I'm still sexy. I'm not going to, waste my years with someone who does not appreciate me fully in whatever I'm doing, whatever I want to do. And I think also, like, I'm very much into like open sexuality, but I do think that women over time, after you've been so open-minded with other partners, that naturally, like, we do want to have our own partner for ourselves. We do want to make a family with a man. And also, I don't think that women are totally like fucking, we're like the witches now. Women are turning into the witches that they want to burn just because they're doing sex work.
I think the hot pretty woman is obviously a very hated person at the minute, and you've got the guys that are like just don't have any. A lot of people think it's the money, man. You need the game, like, and what game's all about? Rejection, taking rejection.
Yeah.
Do you know how many rejections I took when I was younger? Like, I took so many rejections that I'm now I'll just talk to anyone. Once you've done certain things, like, it just strengthens you up to talk to them.
It's even like in the strip club. I can go up to a guy and not every guy is going to get a dance from me. And that is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I do think that men, if they get into relationships with sex worker, all it is about is communication and coming together with an agreement. Like, if you don't want her to do certain things, then, out of respect for him. But also too, like, we have to keep in mind that women now are turning to this industry because it's going to help them financially. You want to get financially independent. So to tell the woman to completely turn off, cut all that stuff out when she has a lifestyle to appease, well, then you need to fill in for that lifestyle. And we're not saying, oh, men need to be simps. No, but if she's going to stop her earnings as this single woman who, she's liberated, she could do whatever she wants. But if she gets in a relationship, obviously there's going to be a respect to him as her man, then fill in for what, other men are lacking. And if you're not going to do that, then shut the fuck up.
I must ask, how do you respect men? Like, how do you respect men in the sense that, like, how do you respect a man that's sort of like maybe an average earner, that sort of like, comes into your life, he's an average earner, he can't supplement your lifestyle, but he says, let's just put it as a scenario, you meet a guy, the guy of your dreams, he looks good looking, but he doesn't necessarily tick all the financial boxes, but he works, he's a hardworking guy, and he comes in, he says, like, I want you just for myself, I'm going to love you, I'm going to look after you, I'm going to try my best for you, but I don't want you to do the sort of spicy work anymore. What do you say to that person?
I mean, that's very
I love that.
hard.
I love that.
Say that, I've been in relationships with men who are average. It's really tough because I've done it where I've totally like cut it off. I've cut dancing, cut porn. And then what ends up happening is, okay, so now they have to, provide for me. And I can understand, like, it's stressful. Like, it's already hard enough for them to provide for themselves. So it's just that we have to have a communication, but I don't super feel about completely cutting all my spicy work. I can understand the strip club because I'm actually physically being around men, and I could understand how he feels about that. But I feel like online is not terrible. And if he is not able to provide my life, then this is what I'm going to do until I, have my own business where I don't need to like do this anymore. And if he can't respect that, then we're not meant to be together. That's just it. I know my value and I know my worth. And now, like, I've gone with, I've dated men who I was just fucking around with, or they were in my same age, and the maturity and also their insecurity. Why do I need to let my looks and my features waste when I have a lifestyle that I want to do? I have things that I want to do. And if this man can't do it for me, I'm not going to sit back and be like, oh, babe, well, that's it. No, I'm going to go after it because I'm a fucking go-getter. And if they can't respect that, and if
I think what's hard to understand as well, because it might seem, people might look at that and think, oh, selfish bitch, she doesn't want to customize her lifestyle. But the problem is, you've already made that sacrifice. One foot is already in that deep pool. You're already in the pool, so it's really difficult to come out of that pool, and it'll feel like you've almost failed in, like, achieving what you wanted to.
When I was in these relationships, it turned toxic and it turned to domestic violence. Like, I've been beat up by boyfriends, and partners and stuff. And so going through that, and I also bring these up, like, these guys, they have the statistics, but they never talk about trauma because they are actually enduring some mental trauma by all these women, right? They don't understand the mentality and the mental depression that domestic violence puts onto you. And so when you get to this point that you're like, fuck, I was being with this person and I was doing my own, I was being the best girlfriend, and it didn't matter. And half of the time, the abusive partner is the one cheating, is the one stepping out, and then they blame the women. And that's why, like, I had a boyfriend that I was with him for 8 years, and then we broke up for like a year and a half, and I got with another guy. And this guy beat the fuck out of me,
Wow.
beat the fuck out of me, that I had my ex-boyfriend come and save me. And it really traumatized me. But from that moment on, I was like, I was a legal secretary. I had my own apartment. I had my own car at 19. And I was sacrificing my wants and my needs to be the best girlfriend just for this piece of shit motherfucker to go cheat on me with my car, living in my house. And I kicked him the fuck out. And then that's why I was like, you know what? I'm going to go into go-go dancing because he didn't want me to do it. And why the fuck not? Why can't I do that? This guy wants to go and use me when, and this is a series of women are people pleasers. They people please to these men and they do what these men want. But what is that man doing for you? He's withholding your dreams. He's withholding you from learning your own lessons. I think I definitely am not stupid. I was very educated. I come from a very military family. So I was very smart in the sense that I was wise on, just making adult decisions. And also, I was from the hood. I had a little bit of street smart. So I wasn't by any means going to allow another person to treat me that way. And once I started doing the sex work and I was able to help my family, I helped my father when he was going through his problems, and I helped my mother so she can get her divorce. And when I'm doing this and I'm able to give back and I help a lot of women out who are also trying to find their way, that is good. That feels good because I'm not just living in vain. I'm not being selfish. And with the blessings, I can also help others.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's what these assholes don't realize. There is a lot of opportunities that come in sex work.
And there's nothing more admirable than that to me, than you've been able to help your whole entire family by sacrificing yourself. You're sacrificing yourself because I want people to understand that part, because a lot of guys will just only hear what they want to hear is, oh, look at her, she's doing this, making all this money, she won't even sacrifice for a guy. The thing is, you've already made a big gamble. It's like you're out there. You've already made a big gamble, and there's no going back. And you've helped so many people. You've probably you've given yourself opportunities.
And I have these piece of shit men. I have these men sending me stuff. Oh, your father hates you. Your father doesn't love you. You're a disgrace to your family. Right before I joined, because I come from a military family, I knew that they would find out anyway. I told my parents and I let them know, even though they didn't respect it, they didn't like it. I said, I'm going to help both of you. You guys are codependent on each other. You need to get away from my mom. My mom was always going into cycles of my dad going into rehab, relapsing, all that, losing their shit. And my mom was a senior master sergeant in the military, so I had to help her get her life together so she could separate. And in return, every time I danced, I went to the jails and I went and visit my dad. I wrote my dad letters. I put money on his commissary so my mother didn't have to do that. And also, I paid for my father's funeral services. So when they sit here and say, oh yeah, your father doesn't, no, you piece of shit. You don't know my life. You don't know my shit. I took care of my family, even though it may be something that, sure, they didn't want this for me, but when you're growing up, your family doesn't know what you're going to be. And if the fact that you can get to the point where you can have, a financial independence and you can help your family, why not?
Exactly. And one thing I'll stress again, you're in the USA, there's no help. It's not like the UK. Like I said earlier, it's not like the UK. You guys, if you were to break your arm and have to go to hospital, how much would the bill be for that? We can't even comprehend that. We can't, us in the UK, we cannot even comprehend that.
Insurance is crazy. It is there's a lot of YouTube channels and videos of people putting on videos of Americans just, we're making the most money that we've ever made, but we're also spending so much just to survive that it really Like, even you could be working 40 hours a week. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. And, they sit here and say, oh, yeah, well, like, why don't you go work a 9 to 5? I've worked plenty of 9 to 5s. And the issue, too, is I'm not trying to say this, but as women and working with other women or working with toxic work environments, it makes it difficult when you have people that are, jealous of you, or they want to try to train you wrong. They want to try to set you up for failure, and then also give you a little bit of hours, maybe like 16 hours, 20, 30 hours. You're not even getting full 40 hours. That it makes it to the point where you're like, fuck it, I might as well be a sex worker because I'm an independent contractor. I could be my own boss, make my own schedule, do whatever the fuck I want, wear whatever the fuck I want, and still make money and be able to live a happy life.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what these men, when you sit here and you put the 9 to 5, it's like you don't even work a 9 to 5. What the fuck are you talking about?
All right. One more thing I'll touch on as well. What would you do differently if you was on Fresh and Fit? If you were on there again, what would you do differently?
If I was in Fresh and Fit, I think I would definitely be more confident and vocalize better to the debate with Marquette about the whole drug dealing thing. And also when he wanted to sit here and say, he needed to try to get vet for some street cred to say that he was a drug dealer and all that. And I think I would have got on him more. But also too, I think I wouldn't have done the interview. They took my time away to be just abusive, and I should have left earlier because it doesn't matter. And
It seems like torture. Like,
it is torture.
When the mood shifts and when Myron's in one of those rants and is in one of his moods sort of thing, it seems like you girls are just sat there just scared out of your wits sort of thing. Like, that's what it does seem like.
You know what? They're so he gets crazy about, if you walk out or so this is the game. When you do Fresh and Fit, you have to stay for the whole interview. Otherwise, they do not tag you. That is the whole reason why women are doing the show, right? If you fucking, back talk them and you walk out, well, they make you the butt of the thumbnail. So they made Danny Banks the first thumbnail. And, she didn't do anything. She actually was defending the Maritza girl that was right next to them. And then she walked out because she's like, you know what? If this is a podcast about being toxic towards women, I'm out. And, they pissed her off. They were trying to belittle her because she is a successful woman as an influencer. And of course, she was one of the links that they wanted to mess with and bring her down. That is the narcissism. That's what they do.
Yeah. Well, Marquette even said that he wants to shame sex workers. He wants to shame them. That
He's I want to beat up simps, and it's like, why? What? You want to beat up men who are choosing to spend their own hard work money for, whatever the fuck they want? People in general, they could pay for whatever the fuck they want because they're working hard for it.
And we will. And no matter what and if we don't pay for OnlyFans, we don't watch free porn, we're going to pay for sex workers, we're going to go to strip clubs. We're going to do it no matter what.
Why even make your life about going and harming somebody that's not doing anything to you, that's not affecting your life in any type of way? Homosexual vibes a little bit, down low vibes maybe, but it's just stupid. And it's like, because what they want to do is they're envious of the girls who are making money. That's why they're making these little workshops that they want men to tune into them, and they try to get all statistics. And even Myron on previous episode, he likes to sound educated, he likes to sound articulate, but then when it comes to someone actually debating him, and I believe there was some feminists on there, and this is the thing, they blame all this shit on feminism. we're not feminists. If we were feminists, we would not go on OnlyFans and show our bodies because we actually like men. I love men. I still suck a dick. I still get fucked by a dick. I want men in my life. I'm not a
And we need you, and we thank you for your service.
to sit here and say that we're feminists and all that, you're fucking uneducated. Because if you really, really understood what a feminist is, it's not who we are. And sure, there is that group, and women don't all agree with feminists. I don't think that men should be eradicated from the fucking world. Okay, because that's my therapy in a sense.
Yeah.
And it's just it's just totally like this whole attack on women and getting mad at them for doing whatever
It's really cringe. I mean, I kind of like most people, I kind of stopped watching the show for a little bit, because it's just like, how many times are we going to hear the same shit over and over again? Like, how are you going to keep bashing women? Like, Fresh and Fit, understand you're very entertaining guys. You've got a brilliant show that you've built up, but the women make the show. That's what makes the news.
Nobody is trying to see them. Nobody's trying to pay for their OnlyFans or whatever. Like, they have nothing to offer. And it's just, I like Access Vegas, the Rolo and the Michael show. I actually enjoy going on those shows because it's very much a healthy debate. They don't attack us, and it's okay. Like, we could agree to disagree as adults, and they're much more nicer to the women. And also on the outside, aside from the show, there's events and stuff out here in Vegas, and we go link up, and it's a very friendly vibe. But the Fresh and Fit thing, it's very toxic. I don't agree with it, and I'm never going to do their show ever again.
I don't think you're going to have the opportunity if anyone sees us.
Yeah, whatever. I did it. I'm there.
And you were fair, because you could have said a lot worse. So you were a lot fair.
Yeah.
Like, we spoke off air. We spoke off air, and you showed me a few things, and obviously, I'll keep that on the low out of respect for you, and obviously we don't want to mess you up out of there, So
and it's like, I'm having their fans purposely search me, add my Snapchat, or add my message me on Instagram to insult me. And the whole thing is you could sit here and say whatever the fuck you want. I am a porn star, so I've already dealt with shame. I could deal with it. And I also have the ability to not accept your message, to not even allow your comment to stay. And really, like, you are literally letters and words that do not give a fuck in my life, that I don't care about your feelings. I'm still going to live my life. I'm still going to raise my child. I'm still going to live a happy life. And I'm still going to fuck men that I want to fuck whenever I want to fuck them.
That sounds like a great way to end the show. But that sounds like a great way to end the show. But I had to get you on because, like, I just saw you were all you girls were just sat there, just like you had freaking collars around your necks, basically. For me, that was just like torture, watching it. And I thought, get you on, say the things that you would have wanted to say the responses that you would have wanted to say. I hope to work with you as well. We'll talk off air about stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you on. And guys, guys in the UK, this lovely lady, she's going to be doing a lot of stuff with us in the UK. So
I love UK men. So if UK men want to subscribe and get my naughty, spicy stuff, please, I welcome them.
Okay, fair enough. Guys, this is Onyxmuse. She's been a fabulous guest. I'm so glad we've done the show. I thank you so much for coming on and giving me giving my platform your time. It's been amazing. Guys, Breadsy Entertainment, make sure you stay tuned. A lot more guests, a lot more content coming. Do you want to say anything before you go? When's your next episode? Your next podcast episode?
Yeah, so Sin City with Onyxmuse, that's on YouTube, and I will be dropping a new one. I'm actually working on next one. And I will be having the women from that show on my podcast, so we can kind of also dig more into our perspective. But you can follow me on IG, OnyxMuseXO, and on Twitter, OnyxMuseXXX.
Guys, catch me, Bruds Entertainment, all platforms. Thank you very much.